Hey everybody, welcome to our weekend check-in video for PSY-5 Social Psychology for Saturday, October 29th. And as I always do, and you know by now, I just go over a few items, reminders, clarifications, anything I think you need to know to help you stay on top of things in our course to be more successful. So let's get started. First up here, your most recent discussion on social influence there, in particular conformity. That was due yesterday there on Friday, and most of you did that and turned in some really great work there. It was really interesting to read some of your stories there. I always enjoy hearing those details and reading about them, and you did some nice applications of how you felt normative social influence applied to your experience of conformity. So congratulations on doing that. It was really nice to read that. Next up here, and thank you for making the effort to do that too. Next up here is that your final APA style literature review paper. Part 2 of that paper is due this coming Monday on October 31st there. Remember, you'll find everything you need to know as far as the instructions there in the APA Literature Review module, which you'll find underneath Unit 5 of our course material. So be sure to scroll down past Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Underneath 5, you'll see the APA module. You want to open up the instructions for Component 2, the final paper there. And at the top there, you will find a little short how-to video where I walk you through with narration and screenshots and kind of show and tell you what you need to do. That'll be very helpful. It's not too long, so make sure you watch that there. And don't forget there, again, it's due on Monday, but we have our late submission policy there too, which you'll find on your syllabus, but also at the bottom of the instructions and also at the bottom of the submission area there too. You can submit up to 3 days afterwards there, but it's 10% off for being late. 5% additional for deduction there for being any 24-hour period late after that. And so after 72 hours, you won't be able to submit at all. So please make sure you know so that final submission date will be Thursday, November 3rd. Below that video I was just mentioning, you'll find an instruction file and a checklist. So it's combined there, instructions and checklist in the same file. When you open up the instructions there are some details about things you need to have in your paper, but you will find there embedded hyperlinks to different parts of the final literature review paper, the title page, the abstract page, completed sample APA style literature review paper. So take a look at that. It'll take you to that online writing lab, the OWL or the OWL, which is a very helpful site for all things APA style, including how to do citations, etc. So do take a look at that there. Very, very helpful. And don't forget to take a look at that checklist in that same instruction file. It's towards the end of the file. It's kind of a list of do's and don'ts, things you do want to have in your paper, things you don't want to have in your paper. So it'll answer a lot of your questions. So another way to look at it is it's like a list of FAQs, those frequently asked questions. So do check that out. I've had many students tell me over the years that they were so glad that I did that because it really answered a lot of their concerns and questions. So just take a look at it. It's very simple, very informal. It will really save you some time and help you do a better paper. So do check it out. As you'll find in the instruction file, but you'll also find in the instructions in that Canvas module itself, your final literature review paper has to be a minimum of 4 full pages of literature review. So not 3 1/4, not 3 1/2, but 4 full pages of information presented that speaks to your topic and thesis statement as found in your 5 APA style references there. So you're going to write about those references and how they speak to your topic and thesis statement. And by the way, if you find you need to replace a reference because it's not working for your final paper, if you want to add more references, that's perfectly fine. You're not married to that original list of 5, but just make sure that if you add any references that you also cite them in your paper. Make sure you cite all of your references, the minimum number of 5. But any additional ones that you have, you need to say something about each one of them there, because this is a review of the literature as documented in your list of references. So of course you need to say something about them, or else what's the point of doing a review of the literature? So make sure that you actually do that, and don't cite sources that you do not have in your list of references, because this is about the literature that you found, not about other things you didn't document in your list of references. And be careful here that when you do your literature review, that you want to write it like, say, like a little mini chapter or a little small section that you would find in a chapter in a textbook that addresses your topic and thesis statement. So that's the tone you want to have. That's the presentational style. So it should not have a conversational and formal tone. It should not be about your lived experiences and your life story related to that topic. It should be about what the science says about your topic, that's what you're writing about. So please be careful about that. That's why it's very helpful to look at a completed sample of paper so you kind of get the vibe of what you need to do there. Also there, along with that minimum number of 4 pages, you need to have 3 additional pages, a title page, an abstract page, and a page of references. So it's going to be 7 altogether, but 4 pages are the actual meat and potatoes, the literature review itself. So just keep that in mind as you write it. Also, if there was any feedback from part 1 that I gave you that you need to address, an unclear thesis statement, problems with the APA style and formatting of your references or the caliber of your references. Some of you didn't have research that you were citing. You were citing things like Time Magazine or some psychology website, which is not an academic peer-reviewed research article. So please make sure you remedy those issues there and address those, because I don't want to see you get dinged for the same problems that you did in part 1. So do incorporate any feedback I gave you in part 1. I give you pretty detailed feedback, and it's designed to help you take action and remedy those problems. So what we would say, constructive feedback, so you can use it to have a final paper that's, better than what it could have been without that feedback. So do use it accordingly. It's there to help you out, not to give you a hard time or just to be critical. I give it to you to improve your work there. Also know that when you submit your paper, again, you're going to upload it to that submission area. It will be analyzed by that plagiarism detection tool known as Turnitin. Some of you may know it from your other courses there. It detects plagiarism. It will look for matches of whatever you wrote to existing written work, whether it's found in a journal article or another student paper. It will find those things. So do be careful to paraphrase, that is, put things in your own word. And to help you out with that, there's a plagiarism section that I linked to there in the instructions on our Fresno City Library website, and there's also an embedded PDF there of a sample table showing you here's the original source material, and they give you, I think, 3 examples of plagiarization of that source. That is the way you should not try to cite the source there, and they give you a 4th example showing you this is proper paraphrasing, it is putting it in your own words. So make sure you're careful about that, because even if you provide a citation but you use some of the original words, that's still plagiarization, because you're claiming you wrote that and you didn't. So you can't do it like that. You need to put things in your own words. So do be careful to take a look at that table. It'll just take you a few minutes so you can get a sense again right away. This is what I need to be careful about. You can literally see what it's all about there. Let's see, that's pretty much everything I wanted to say about that paper. Again, there's that Writing and Reading Center there in the library that can help you out as well, so do take advantage of that. And also, we will have our live session this coming Monday at 1 p.m., so please come there. If you have any questions, you can speak to me directly. It's sort of a open office hour thing where I can just answer any of your questions, so I'm there for you to help you if you have any concerns. Otherwise, please make sure you're watching those lecture videos. There's some pretty good stuff that I covered there in these 3 chapters, 9, 10, and 11. And work on your discussions and quizzes, work on your inquisitive assignments, work ahead to get all those things done as much as you can so you can get that out of the way. Otherwise, maybe I'll see you in that live session Monday. I'll see you here again next weekend. Hope you're enjoying the nice fall weather finally that we have here. So I will see you next time. And take care until then. Bye-bye.